Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read. This is for Sunday, February 12th, 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading. And do keep in mind as we proceed, this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Now, I did channel an overall message for this day, which was best of the best. Best of the best. So I do feel as if naturally with that coming through, as the overall message, it's going to be a day that reminds you in one, if not multiple ways, you're simply the best of the best. But you can see here clearly I did pre-pull 3 oracles, one of which is chopped wood, new life, and poised. Now, efforts going towards one, if not multiple, necessary or just desired tasks, accomplishments. It feels like a bit of a busy Sunday for some drawn to the reading, and others it feels less jam packed. But either way, this is a Sunday where you'll feel gratified by the end. You'll feel fulfilled by putting effort towards something, or they're saying multiple somethings, right? But you could find oneself putting effort towards a new life. I found it interesting when pre-pulling these cards. These two images were kind of the same sort of stretching or how do I want to put it? Kind of melodramatic imagery. And I feel like there's that vibe about this day where it doesn't feel super energetic per se or over exuding, but it feels sort of dramatic and flowy all the meanwhile, right? And so Spirit's saying enjoy the movement, enjoy the energy of this day, and allow it to heal you, right? There's going to be a moment or two or multiple for some drawn to the reading where you're listening to music or you're watching content online or something else of significance, and this feels quite relieving or gives you a sense of release, right? Don't be surprised if you find yourself dancing to music at a certain point throughout the day, even if it's unexpected. And this in and of itself feels quite beautiful, right? It feels like you're in the moment and you're just everything else around you or just that you've been dealing with is sort of blocked out of your existence. That's beautiful, right? And so be one with that moment. I was going to pull from the Small Everyday Tarot, but I'm being drawn back to the Mystic Mondays. I'm so sorry about my voice. It is quite early, but I'm being drawn back to do these readings quite early, given some people do like to work against me. What else do we have for Sunday? The world. This day is highlighting the fact that your world is changing. All right. Now, again, if I didn't mention it in this attempt already, I feel as if this day highlights the fact that you're working towards a new life for oneself, even if you don't realize it. Whether it's efforts towards cleaning up one's habits, it could be investing in research wise or just applying, working towards a new situation or multiple for oneself. It could be in regards to the way you connect with people. However it works for you, Spirit's saying the efforts recently and surrounding this day in general, right, through it, after it, towards living this healthier, better life for oneself. Beautiful, right? But I also feel like Spirit's saying it's a day where you'll wake up and you'll feel more refreshed. You'll feel a little bit burnt out and potentially a bit out of it at the very beginning moments of the Sunday. But then when you kind of, they're saying check into oneself or just come into a more alive way of being, even if it takes longer for some, it feels like you're being reminded you're the best of the best, right? And this is a day that reminds you it's a stepping kind of process towards a better life for oneself, however that looks for you. But it feels like you could feel a little bit out of it in the beginning, and that needs to just be shaken off, okay? And it feels like there could be certain levels of toxicity. You could feel like you're overworking oneself for some. but it feels like a day where there's a very poised, strong way about how you carry yourself, how you accomplish, excuse me. And I feel like you just need to take care of oneself. Implement self care when you have the free time to do so. Obviously, some drawn to the reading have less time to do so than others, but that's not the point. There's a value and a strength to even taking, for some, the minimal time throughout the day to that you have, if it's busy for you, to implement self-care, to water one's temple or just well-being, and therefore the busier moments feel more productive. Does that make sense? um, so you feel stronger in those busy times. But others of which this whole day does, or the majority of which centers around the fact that you need to regain your strength by implementing self care, by in a very poised manner, doing what you have to do to feel better about what lies ahead, right? A very recovery, self care kind of day. I'm now pulling from the middle of the deck the Seven of Pentacles for the center of the reading. So yeah, it feels like you're watering what needs to grow or what you feel is necessary for your life. But through it all, you're being reminded once again you're the best of the best. And Spirit saying, this is purposeful. This is a Sunday where through it all you are being pushed to embrace the healing and just the beauty of the way you get things done. And even potentially being pushed to remember how you've gotten things done recently and how efficient that was and how on point that was. But all the meanwhile, it feels like even the way you water things, that is quite rewarding. And it feels like it's just Spirit reminding you throughout this Sunday, or not just, but through it all, you're being reminded even the way you do things, that can feel gratifying, that can feel rewarding, abundant, all the meanwhile, right? So to remember that the process of how you do things, how you accomplish, that can feel amazing all the meanwhile, right? It's almost a reminder that you get caught up in the process of things at times, that or just the mundane tasks, or just the overall outcome, or you want the end goal, right? That it's hard to at times enjoy the process along the way, right? So Spirit's saying this Sunday reminds each of us to, or us individually, to enjoy the process. Beautiful. Beautiful. Who doesn't need that reminder occasionally to, as this card says again, chop that wood, but enjoy it along the way? Now, I do feel like there could be moments of emotion throughout this day, whether for you individually it's because you're feeling a bit burnt out. It could be more so because of what you're dealing with, certain people working against you, disturbances. But Spirit's saying this is a Sunday that reminds you you are simply the best of the best. They're saying for some it's more complex than that, as I did use the word simply. Anyways, the point being, this is a Sunday where you're not meant to feel unappreciated, right? And this is the universe saying, we will work through, Spirit saying, however you want to view it or word it, we will work through other people, through scenarios, situations, certain rewards coming towards you to make sure you're feeling valued, to make sure you're remembering moving forward that you're the best of the best. And of course, that's going to look different for each beautiful soul being drawn to this reading, right? But it's a Sunday where, yes, things aren't perfect, right? But being a soul that just is truly meant to thrive and shine through your skill sets, through your healing, through your growth in certain ways, I do feel as if the Sunday once again reminds you that you're truly valued and appreciated all the meanwhile, right? And so Spirit's saying, well, where you shine the most, right? Where you feel you truly are the best of the best. Like, I feel as if for me personally, it's going to come through probably on one level serving for me, because I am really good at what I do in that sense. But most importantly, reading cards, right? Tarot reading. So apply it to your situation. Where are you the best of the best, right? And this Sunday will highlight this to remind you that you are one important soul and again appreciated and valued all the meanwhile, right? It's not only a very important Sunday on when it comes to again healing and taking things step by step and balancing things out all the meanwhile, right? To not overdo it through it all. But again, it's a Sunday where you're being reminded, as I can't look away from the message I wrote down, you're simply the best of the best. Keep that in mind. All right?